I'm back from raid night! Oh man, we had a great time and I got some incredible loot.
Oh, brilliant! Do you think we might get to play at all?
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of tired after all the main character fun, to be honest. But I put some blues in the warband bank for you. See if there's anything you like.
Please delete me.
Shut up, Vale!
Welcome back, Evitel.
Ugh, what's Archmage Drendon doing here?
Oh yeah, he just asked if he could come by and hang out for a bit while you were gone. He says he's one of your alts from a different server anyway. And honestly, your other alts aren't great company, so I said yeah.
I'm not so sure about that, Tally. He gives me the creeps.
I definitely know what you mean, but he is a respected member of the council in Dalaran, where he's been reinstated after a mysterious absence since Caligos stood down.
Yeah, it's really weird how all that happened, isn't it?
Yeah, not suspicious though.
Oh no, not suspicious at all.
I love it by this fire. I like fire.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I think he's a bit lonely.
Okay, he can stay. I have to go do my world quests anyway. What was that?
I don't know. Everything has been a little bit buggy since the update.
Yeah, you're right. Well, okay. Bye, everyone. Bye, Drendon.
Bye-bye, Evitel. Bye-bye.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Reset, Taliesin and Evitel's wondrous wisdom show in a week, where the 11.1 War Within pre-patch kicked off with the usual bugs and problems that you would expect something the size and magnitude of warbands to have when it hit. We all knew there would probably be some issues, but were you expecting accidental main character deletion? Because I was not expecting accidental main character deletion. That was not on my bingo card. Some other things were though, and we're going to look at everything that went down on launch day in a bit, as well as my exhaustive and very in-depth review of the new official War Within cinematic and everything you need to know about when the pre-patch Radiant Echoes event kicks off next reset. But before any of that, let's catch up with all the latest additions to the War Within beta this week.
It's beta time. It's rundown time. It's Evie's beta rundown. Let's run down. First off, Redbot SpoilerBot engage because a new login screen has been datamined. Remember last week when we had elements with names like trees and clouds datamined for a potential new screen? If you guessed that Dornagal would feature on the new screen, you're right. No longer just a magma-veined ball, the center of the screen now features a glimpse into the Dwarven city, like a portal, perhaps? You know what makes a classic login screen? A gateway, a threshold, a portal into a new adventure. And it looks like the devs know it too. But the login screen currently live on the beta is slightly different. It has the new Radiant Portal, or peephole, to Dornagal, but also the big magma veiny ball on top of it, but slightly smaller, also kind of off-center. Is it meant to shrink over time? Or crumble? Or explode? Keen eyes have noticed that the Dornagal scene is an animated version of the original concept art we got for each zone. So can we expect to rotate through to Hallowfall, the Ringing Deeps, and Azjh Kahet over time? And even new zones with future patches? Or is it using the concept art because Blizz smashed it together last minute because of the negative reaction to the original? Was this intended from the start, or reacting to criticism? I guess we'll never know, although it seems likely it was intended, since pretty much everyone guessed this might happen. Whatever the future of the ball, I'm almost certain we'll have lots of new views to peep in the future. Also datamined in the beta, we have a new gigantic Grrloc mount. That's with 2 R's. The Gargantuan and ginormous Grrlocs were previous subscription rewards, so we've yet to see if this one will follow suit, though the tooltip does describe it as the 3rd biggest Murloc you've ever seen, with the other 2 being 1st and 2nd. Or if it'll be a straight up shop mount. Not going to lie, I was secretly hoping these guys could fly. Maybe that'll be for the next 12-month sub. Hey, does anyone know when the Chinese Year of the Grrloc is? The pre-patch is here! The pre-patch is here! And with it, a ton of updates, a slew of bugs, and a few things that can fall into either category because no one seems to know if they're intentional or not. But first, the good stuff. Skyriding is here. I cannot explain the joy of mounting my owlbear and zooming off with all the elegance a 1-ton bearbird can muster in the sky. Seriously, look at those little feet. The Warband screen is live, and I'm not even kidding you when I say I was instantly inspired to assemble my team and level up my straggling alts. As in, I used a couple of boosts knocking about to get them up to 60. But I then logged in on them, hosed them down, gave them something to eat, and I actually feel committed to playing them now. And then of course there is the main debate of our age. What is the optimal position around the campfire for your main? If they're top of the list, which would suggest they're most important, they're going to be on the extreme left of the screen. So is that the number one spot? Or is it the more central position behind the fire? More warmth, easier to talk to your team and give instructions. And if the central positions are the highest status, which one? Left or right? I think we can all agree the extreme right is the scrub position. Personally, I'm a far left kind of girl because that showcases my hunter pet the best. I know Tally likes his in position number 2, which I guess would make it position number 1. You see what I mean? This is a very important issue and it is vital we get clarity. Let us know your preferred position in the comments below, and also where you put your main around the fire. Another question, which position around the fire allows you to access your warband bank? Because I'm yet to find it. The warbank system is currently disabled due to a critical issue that needs to be addressed. Yeah, it doesn't work. That's the issue. Some early beta testers of the bug hunting variety came across duplication issues bordering on exploits. Could that be what's being fixed? Regardless, I'm starting to feel like maybe I deleted my bank alts too soon. Because at the minute, this whole system feels a bit like having a joint account with Taliesin. It's hard to see what I'm getting out of it. Speaking of deleted, some players have run into an issue whereby a UI bug has caused them to accidentally delete their mains. Whoops! Considering that A, lots of people are currently tidying up those non-warband contenders, and B, character restoration services are now unavailable for a few weeks, as we were informed by a blue post not long ago. This is a particularly unfortunate series of events, which is seeing mains deleted instead of those level 36 characters that people were actually trying to get rid of. It's always level 36. Thankfully, the customer service team are aware of this issue. Yeah, no, they are aware of this issue. I think someone may have told them. And Cybear is no longer Cyburied. And from characters being accidentally deleted to the exact opposite. We've got the whole scale of broken in this patch, folks. There have been some reports on the forums and the WoW subreddit of characters coming back from the dead and otherwise unknown characters appearing in people's warbands. The likelihood of these being completely random tunes and not long abandoned ones on Long Lost Realms is almost zero, but a previously deleted character just crawling back up to say hello? It's possible.
Good evening, Evitel.
Hey, Drendon.
I like your news show. Every little bit of news helps.
Ha ha ha. Oh, you're so funny, Drendon. Seriously, how do I delete this guy?
More live game news in just a moment, but also this week, a new official World of Warcraft cinematic hit, some of which we have already seen before in the date announcement cinematic, with the Earthen Dwarv putting in some serious reps, and Orweyna doing Harronir stuff, and Faerin being just outrageously cool and sending a small but very vocal manky corner of the internet into meltdown. We got all that again. But more so. Honestly, I hesitate to even call this a cinematic because that word conjures images of the actual War Within cinematic with Anduin and Thrall, or the old Soldier series that we got in the lead up to BFA. This is not that. This is very much like the sizzle reel that we had before Shadowlands, showing us some character locations that we'll encounter in our journey through the leveling campaign. So, some interesting shots in this opening of the 3 friendly factions preparing for battle. Orweyna discovering a vine that appears to be magically alive and beginning to nurture it using the, I'm guessing, life magic that it looks like she possesses for that very purpose. Faerin getting properly armoured and belted up, and I know this is dumb and very stupid and will probably tell you quite a lot about me, but that ear animation as the breastplate goes over her head. Mwah, I'm very impressed. And the reveal of the Arathi forces behind her in the darkness, and the realization that this Earthen Dwarf is working a huge forge by himself, which, I mean, nice one, fair play, but that's got to be a labor rights issue, right? I'm going to need to get confirmation from his rep that he's receiving the adequate breaks and overtime pay, okay? But I love how distinct these three different characters and scenes are. I love the music that keeps sounding like it's going to break into the main WoW theme, but never does, because it's actually just playing around those notes. There is this incredible shot of Hallowfall, which... I know this is stupid, okay, but I can't help myself. Gives me the hope that we may be seeing more of that location in future super high-res cinematics like this. Maybe in a narrative capacity. Like, I'm not saying I need something like Old Soldier. I'm just saying I really want something like Old Soldier, you know? And then it starts to get really scary as we follow an airship into the disgusting bulbous nest hollow, and I'm like, nope. Nope. And we see this gigantic crab. This crab, which looks like it has a massive old god tentacle suspended over its desk. And I don't even know what the crab is doing to that, because we then zoom down the disgusting bulbous nest tunnel and get an incredible view of Azjh Kahet, the enormous crab city that makes up the 4th leveling zone of the game. And this is the best location reveal we've had in a cinematic since the Broken Isles, in my opinion. Very cool. And then that's it. There is absolutely nothing else in the cinematic before we get the title card, which very interestingly first informs us that this is part 1 of the World Soul Saga. And obviously I know that, but it's still just pretty hype to see them say it and all that in the writing on the trailer and stuff. And yeah, I know I'm an easy mark, but this is some proper hype for me, okay? Blizz can take that cinematic to the bank, to the Warband bank. Oh, never mind. And in fact, I'm not actually done talking about it, because you might think that narratively there's not much happening in this clip, but I've written a 46-page essay analysing it frame by frame. I'm gonna read you now. And by the time I've finished, I think you'll agree that there is some incredibly interesting things that I've speculated are going on, and I'm pretty sure everyone else will have missed. So, we begin on a black screen, onto which the words Blizzard Entertainment appear. Now this is clearly showing us that Blizzard Entertainment have made this trailer. And what that can tell us about the motivations of the main character is...
Welcome to the real weekly reset. Taliesin and Evitel are sadly indisposed, as they are busy being consumed by the void. Like you all soon will be.
Meanwhile, almost all armor in the game has quietly been buffed, with armor values, stamina, and secondary stats increased slightly across the board. And here I was looking at my stat distribution thinking I'd actually equipped optimal gear for once. No, it's just Blizz quietly trying to keep tanks alive. And 3 new Stormrider's Attire Recolors have very subtly appeared in the pre-patch. In order to get them, you have to find and talk to this guy, Kurdren, on the very south edge of Valdrakken to start the quests, for both the standard recolors and the whizzy, particle-y versions too. In order to get both sets, you'll need to collect approximately a bajillion 550 Storm Spirits, which drop from elites across the Dragon Isles. And while we were distracted by all that, the memeably huge Valarjar Champion's Greatsword has been nerfed.
No!
I know. Size-wise, losing the comical heft it was known and loved for. This sucks, man. 200 tendies down the drain. But if this pans out anything like the shrinking goodest boy Tyvan situation, then we might still hold out for its size to be reverted. In the meantime, enjoy your piddly little swords, everyone. I won't. Maybe it's just a bug, though it certainly doesn't appear on Blizz's list of known issues, which you can find below, along with the Wowhead rundown.
Don't forget that this reset, the pre-patch event, starts up properly. A questline is going to pop asking you to go to Silithus and meet up with the whole gang to ask Magni about the Radiant Echoes everyone has been hearing, and which by the time it's finished, we'll see you zooming around the planet fighting dreams of past threats to Azeroth for currency, which you will use to buy sweet catch-up gear and transmog. I've kind of made fun of this event a bit in past videos, but I've done some more testing since, and you know what? It's won me over. I can see a lot of good in it. It's not just killing stuff for a start. Half of the little mini events that you have to complete complete in each zone are little jobs, like in Time Wrist or something. And the whole time that you're going around, you get Khadgar popping up explaining what's going on and who everyone is and why that's bad. And I like that. I like it when Khadgar explains stuff to me, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to enjoy it. Another excellent thing about all of this is that the questline introduces you to Dagran for the first time with his silky smooth accent, which I think you're going to like. I think you're going to like Dagran. We're actually in Denmark for a guild wedding next weekend, so there will be no reset, even though we do have other videos planned. Hopefully the Warband bank will be working by the time we get back. But thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, don't thank us, thank our patrons who give their actual real life money to make all of our work happen. And patrons, seriously, thank you, because without you, there would be a whole lot less Taliesin and Evitel. If you didn't like it, downvote the out of it. Remember, my name is Cybear. No, my name is Taliesin. From me and Evitel and everyone else who lives in this house. Cheerio.